A few hours after departing Gate Pass, the party settled down in the camp set by Captain Harriman's guards and engaged in a fun game where they learned more about each other. The next morning found the city guards parting ways with the company, bound for the Lyceum. After some hours of travel, the group found themselves in a dangerous spot. On a narrow path set at the bottom of a ravine, steep walls on each side. A great place for an ambush. Sure enough, the trap was set and sprung. The party found themselves assailed by the Horsehead Armband thugs. We gotta learn their names because that's a lot to say. From Gate Pass, the same group said to be led by Cathor that attacked the Poison Apple pub and also cornered the party in the city the following morning. Intent on capturing magic users and collecting the Regessian army's reward, the thugs fell upon the companions with fury and savagery. With flashing swords and flinging arrows, the melee quickly turned dire. Will the companions find a way out of this mess?
We'd left things off, as was kind of alluded to there, with a dismal string of rolls, but it was starting to kind of turn around. Winry, we'd left it off at your turn after you guys had started to score some hits on the enemies immediately before you.
I'm going to use my flurry of blows and punch the guy above me. Well, my first one was an 8, so that's not going to be good. 16. Oh, and a 9.
Yes, 16 hits.
6 damage. The other 2 missed.
They're both starting to take some hits. Neither one of them looks too significantly wounded just yet, but they are definitely starting to look a little bit knackered. Anything else on your turn, Winry?
Nope.
All right, Bryn, it's you.
I'm going to do Healing Word at Jack at first level. Yeah, 7 hit points to you. And
Thank
then with my action, I'm going to yell, Torrent. I'm going to yell out to Torrent, let go of 2 of the horses, and I'm going to call 2 of the horses to me.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
11.
I will let you know what happens once it gets to Torrance.
That is my turn.
Well, speaking of Rayland, it's you next. Just as a mental reminder for both or all of you, there is also the one up here a little bit further that has also taken a significant amount of hits before he got forced away by Jack.
I think I'm just going to stick with the strategy that's been really taken.
Really?
Just bringing it home. I'm going to shoot my crossbow bolt against this guy here.
Perfect. Sounds great. Make the attack.
18 to hit.
That does hit. Rayland
right.
turns it around after, I believe, 3 misses.
10 damage.
10 points of damage. Very nice. The arrow sinks in a little bit more after Winry kind of exposes a small opening for you with a punch. Takes him like in the side underneath the arm a little bit. And you can definitely see that he's looking quite hobbled after that.
Reload my crossbow, and I'm going to ready movement. Right, I can ready movement.
I'm good with that.
If that horse comes near me, I'm jumping on.
Then, Jack, it's you.
I'm going to look over at the other guy, not the guy who's been getting hit, so not the one in front of me, this guy. And I'm going to say to him, what would your father say if he saw you here hurting innocent people for money? Shame on you. Casting Vicious Mockery.
Still with blood covering your face, right?
Yeah, totally. Wisdom, save 13, DC.
Might help.
Ooh, that's a natural 19. A 20 total. I think he'd be happy.
Wah, wah.
I'm going to do my best to boot, scoot, boogie out of there. I was hoping that the one guy would have disadvantage on the shot. I can't take another round of shots like that. Let's see what happens.
They're going to take an extra round of sword swings against you. One is good, one is probably bad. 13 for one and 19 for the other.
As the 13 guy swings at me, can we say it was the guy that I tried to
Absolutely.
get before? Okay. As he swings at me, I say, what about your mother? I'm going to use cutting words, which it'll lower it at least 1. So that'll make that one miss. The other one still hits.
So that is 5 points of piercing damage from the one that does make contact. The other one looks a little bit sad and slightly heartbroken at your mean words about its mother and hating him now. But he does look still menacing despite the confusion momentarily.
Did I move far enough? I'm far enough now. All right, that's my turn. If I see the horses charging, I'm gonna kind of like squinch up against the wall as best I can. Okay, that's my turn.
You get 8.
Myetharia,
Okay.
it's you. Jack is
Alrighty.
retreating to a safe distance.
Good. All right. How does this guy right next to me look?
A little bit hurt, but not too brutal at this point in time.
And the other guy?
More damaged, definitely with a crossbow bolt sticking out from his rib cage. You just took one like in the side underneath the arm into his ribs there, so he's kind of
Right.
bent over.
I'm going to use a fighting spirit, give myself advantage on this next roll. I'm going to hit the guy who looks more damaged.
Absolutely. Reach in, finding kind of like inner calm or inner peace. Try to find the right place to strike.
I rolled a 7 and a 5, so the highest there is 12, so I don't think that hits.
12 unfortunately does not hit, is even though he kind of got knocked off balance, hit with a crossbow bolt. It's just enough of a force in the side there to have him evade.
But I do get 5 temporary hit points from my fighting spirit, so yes. All right, that's my turn.
And temporary
Some
hit
days.
points don't stack.
Correct.
She would get the higher
Right.
number.
I didn't even thought of that.
7 from me.
All right, then I'll take your 7.
The one that's a little bit further up the path is up next. He'll take a few steps closer and he'll raise the longbow that he has, and he'll kind of draw it back, shoot once more towards the back of Myetharia, which is exposed right now. 15 to hit.
Yep, that's my armor class, so it hits.
Are you damaged already?
Yes.
You can see that his aim is true. It finds exactly what it was looking for, and it seems to find a weak spot within your armor where you were hit previously. He
That.
finds a very weak spot to the tune of 16 points of piercing damage.
Oh, dear heavens. All right.
He sees you reel. You take the longbow shaft right to the back. And he says, "That's what you get. You should have kept riding." That's the end of his turn. The other two
Alrighty.
will continue to go after their targets. One of them, who's right next to Winry, is going to continue to attack her as it saw her casting a spell. And so he attacks with his short sword. He does not hit. That's a 7 to hit. And then the other one was still chasing Jack down, and so he's going to kind of make a run across and past you, Winry, if you'd like.
Yes. 23.
That does hit.
Please drop him.
5 damage.
Okay, 5 points of damage. He is still stumbling towards Jack, Myetharia.
I rolled a 19, so that's 24 to hit.
That
Nice.
definitely hits.
That's 8 points of damage.
Very nice. And as he
That's better.
takes a couple of steps down the path, right next to Winry, when Winry gets to punch him, that it's just enough, knocks him down, and he kind of hits his head onto a stone path in the middle and appears to be bleeding out from it. That is all of their turn. The last thing that happens is you start to hear sounds coming up the canyon. The sound of someone on a horse riding towards you guys in the distance. You can hear it kind of echoing throughout the path where you guys are going through this ravine.
Like one horse or multiple?
There is
we-
at least 2 horses that you can hear.
Did we get anything from Torrent?
You do. Torrent does release her 2 horses. She has a hard time doing it because all the reins are kind of tied all together. After a few seconds, the horses do come walking up towards you guys, making it about to here for you. As they come towards Bryn, who gave them a little call, the horses come walking towards her and kind of stop at her hands, her touch. Rayland, if you'd like to, you can make your move at this point.
Gonna slide down the hill and jump on. Is that all right? Yeah, I'll slide down the hill a little bit until I'm about a foot up from the horse and just pop off.
A surf down the hill, basically,
Yeah.
with the rocks kind of scattering about. And as you get low towards the bottom, gives a nimble jump, maybe a little forward roll in the air. So he lands upon the saddle.
Yep.
Winry, it's you.
Seeing the horses, I'm gonna back away from this fellow.
He will make an attack against you as he'd been trying to strike you this whole time. 23 to hit.
Yep.
6 points of slashing.
I'm gonna try to jump on the other horse.
Winry comes charging past, jumps on the other horse on her way, and still has a few feet of movement if you want that.
Can I start moving with the horse?
You can if you'd like to. As you start kind of turning the horse around and coming this way, Torrent says, Where are we going to go?
I will go forward with the horse.
Just gonna mow down Myetharia and Jack and Bryn.
No, I'm gonna get her up on the horse with me.
Oh, okay. So you still had about, what's your movement? 40
Or
feet?
actually, I'll probably get Jack up on the horse.
I'd be fine with you taking an action in order to pick someone up onto the horse if you'd like to.
Okay, I will take Jack.
All right.
Okay.
So the two of you on the horse together. Let's see. You had about 15 feet left. I'll say you still have 15 feet of movement if you want it.
I will start going forward with the horse.
You kind of skirt past Bryn on your way by, and you push along. There you go. Anything else, Winry?
Nope.
You get 7 temporary hit points.
Winry, you're huge. Could you just like grab me and like throw me onto the horse?
I was assuming that you were.
Willing.
I was more assuming it was like an arm clasp, and she kind of pulls you up behind her on the saddle.
That's cooler.
All right, so 3 on the horses technically. Bryn, it's you.
I'm going to sidestep like to the square above Winry and you. And I'm going to shoot Sacred Flame at the guy right in front of Myetharia. So Dex 13.
Dex save. That is a 9, so that's a failure.
Nice.
6 points of damage.
Very nice. 6 more points. He's
Great.
he's definitely starting to look a little weaker after that. Starting to struggle.
That's all that I got.
You do have your sword if you want it.
Your spiritual weapon.
Oh, look at that. I'm going to move him up and have that one swing. 16.
16 does hit.
7 points.
Very nice. He is very much struggling now at this point as the spiritual weapon sword kind of bashes him right in the back. Yeah, not looking good. Anything else, Bryn?
No, now I'm good, and that was satisfactory.
Yeah, that was a good turn.
Rayland.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at. Can I hit him over Bryn's head?
Yeah, definitely. You can try to. I would like you to make a animal handling check.
16.
You are able to kind of deftly navigate the horse and keep it steady, as it is not the easiest thing to be firing a crossbow from the back of a horse. But in doing so, you're able to avoid disadvantage on your shot. So go ahead and you can do whatever you would like.
16.
16 does hit.
13 damage.
That's not
13
terribly
points
bad.
of damage. Very nice.
Yes.
The crossbow bolt takes the second one in a vital spot, piercing through his neck, and he falls down.
Yes.
Sheath my crossbow with my
Okay.
bonus action fast hands and draw my sword and dagger.
You got both out? Okay, so you're riding with your knees. That makes sense. You rolled a 16. I'm good with that.
That's a good point. I'm going to draw my rapier. And could I possibly use my fast hands in my next turn to kind of steady the horse, like hold the reins, maybe put a little energy, like extra effort into making sure that he's doing what I want him to do?
Possibly. Yeah, we'll talk about it on your turn.
All right, that's my turn.
Jack, both of the members who had previously jumped you are now lying in pools of blood on the ground.
Also, Ryan, I am rolling your temporary hit points. I'm just rolling lower than what I already gave you.
Yeah, I have 7 still, I believe. Yeah.
I am going to hold my action. I'm going to prepare a Ray of Frost. And I'm going to fire it at the horse that guy was riding on. So I'm going to hold Ray of Frost until I have a clean shot at the horse. I'm going to try to kill his horse.
Shout it out for that horse.
I mean, if his horse is down, he can't chase us anymore. So I prepare that spell, and I just hold on tighter to Winry. How's Myetharia doing?
She's standing. I mean, she looks rather bloody, but she's all right.
I was going to say, she just took a arrow to the back is the last thing you remember.
I think I would have seen that. I'm going to see that she got hurt. I'm going to do Healing Word at first level. I see Myetharia take the hit. Take 6 HP. Yeah, and then I just hold on Winry, and I say, if you can get me in range of his horse, I'm going to try to disable it.
Myetharia, it's you.
Everyone's gone. All right. How close is Torrent?
45 feet.
So it would take my entire action to get to her and get a horse. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go all the way back. And is it possible to skirt through them here? It's pretty.
Yeah, I'm fine
cramped.
with you kind of fitting your way through.
Are you okay with me trying to get up on a horse?
Yep, I'm not worried about mounting the horse. You can do that as a bonus action.
Okay.
Myetharia, as you walk past, I'll say, are you okay?
He's not going to say anything.
I do still have blood everywhere, so.
No, she just completely ignores you.
She does make it past you, and she does get on a horse at the back. And that is probably
Do you
all
want
that
to
you
move
can
on
do.
your
That's my turn.
All right, perfect. The man then, with the chain shirt, helmet, and cape, is going to shout out at you, seeing you mounting your horse, and say, "No, you jerks!" And he's going to take a longbow shot, and he's going to shoot at Winry's horse.
Oh, no.
What a jerk! He's hurting a horse.
You're right.
Am I right?
Who would think of that?
Definitely a hit. And it deals some damage to the horse, as now it has a bolt right in its shoulder.
I don't mean to be this guy, Justin, but I feel like we should both roll some saves because that horse is going to be freaking out.
Not yet.
Okay.
He says, "You get down here and you fight." The next thing that you notice is coming around the bend ahead is the man that you started seeing as he was fleeing, as he was riding away, blowing a horn. He has stowed the horn, and he's just making it around to the top of the bend at this point in time to see how things have been going. You do still hear hoof sounds from beyond him as well. That is all that happens there. Torrent will mount up on one of the horses herself, say, What's the plan?" She'll just kind of spur the horse slowly, because she's leading two other horses down the path to get closer to you guys at least. Winry, it's you. Go ahead and make an animal handling check, please.
9.
The horse, despite your attempts, just starts running. It doesn't know what's happening.
Go the right way.
All that it knows is that it needs to go. It spends its entire movement going 60 feet straight forward.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Does it hit the guy?
It does not hit the guy, and actually, he doesn't have a melee weapon out, so he can't swing at it. Anything that you try to do on your turn, you or Jack, will be at disadvantage, because you're on the back of a bolting horse.
So I'm now within range of the horse, right?
Yep, you can go ahead and make your Ray of Frost if you'd like, at disadvantage.
Ooh, good. I rolled a 16 and 19, so 20 total.
Definitely hits.
I don't feel good about this, but I'm riding behind Winry. So I've got like one arm around her waist, and then I've got my other arm perched on her shoulder. And that's how I fire the spell. Just kind of steadying my arm on her shoulder.
You can hold my tail.
3 frost damage.
3 points of frost damage. You can see it kind of start to get frost and kind of icicles forming in its mane. And it looks pissed.
Oh,
and it starts running itself further away as well.
All right, I'm good with that. I say, "I'm sorry I burned you earlier, horsey. This should cool you off." So the arrow that the horse that we're riding on, the damage that it took, does it seem like it's about to drop, or it's okay?
I mean, it definitely took some damage.
All
It is not on death's door, but it is definitely, it's got a longbow shaft sticking out of it. Winry, it's your turn. Your actual turn now. The horse bolting
The
was
horse
your move.
running was my move action. Okay.
Yep, you just had to hold on tight.
I'm gonna throw a ray of frost at this dude
The one that you just passed.
yelling at us. Yeah.
All right, go for it. Make an attack with disadvantage.
13.
13 total, not quite enough to hit. He's able to dodge out of the way as the horse takes a jostle as you were just about to release the spell, and it goes a little bit awry. Anything else that you'd like to do on your turn?
Nope.
Bryn, that makes it your turn.
How far is that guy from me?
The horse guy?
This, yeah,
Way far.
45. I'm directing. Okay. Has the guy that's closer been hurt at all?
Yeah, he's definitely taken some damage. He doesn't look like he's
Oh,
too brutal yet, but he definitely has taken hits while you guys were fighting originally. He also got bucked off a horse as part of that too.
first I'm going to put my sword up to the one guy and hit him with my sword. It's 11.
Come on, guys. We're not out of this yet.
Sees the sword coming, he's able to dodge out of the way of it.
So I'm going to move forward 25 feet. I'm going to cast sleep.
Oh, okay.
17.
17. You cast a spell. You sprinkle the dust in the air, and as you do so, he blinks a little bit, but seemingly has no real effect on him.
That's all. I did my bonus action, did my move, did my action.
Yep.
Okay.
Rayland,
So with my fast hands, I'm going to take up the reins and guide the horse as I take my heels and sort of kick at him. Say, yeah. How much movement do I have on the horse, Justin?
The horses have 60 feet of movement.
All right, yeah, I'm going to catch up with them.
Oh, you want to be right adjacent to him?
Yeah, and I'm going to take a swipe at him as I'm going by.
You know, I'm not even going to make you make a check because you're holding on and everything. You're good. And you're making a melee strike. I'm good with that.
13.
13 does not hit. Nope. He continues to evade strikes left and right.
Rayland, you have 8 temporary hit points instead of 7 now.
Jack, make a athletics check.
14.
You're able to hold on as the horse bolts through as you're trying to like hold on to anything you can on Winry in order to keep on the back of this horse. She's in the saddle, you're just behind it, and so you're just kind of scrambling on. It's fine for normal riding, but while it's bolting, it is much more difficult to hold on.
I'm gonna earn a nickname today.
Horse killer?
I'm gonna fire a ray of frost at the other guy's horse.
The other guy's horse? The front. Okay.
Try to get it to buck. Yeah, no, that won't do it. Probably.
What is it?
That is a 6. 15 and natural 2.
The horse is rampaging along. You're just trying to grab on for the most part, and it makes so that your spell kind of goes off into the bushes instead.
Can I use the remainder of my turn to try to help stabilize Winry like on the horse so that she can
I will give her advantage to get it under control.
I just grab onto her tighter and try to steady her so that she can focus on the horse. That's it.
Myetharia, you're a long ways back, but you can ride through the other horse. I'm fine with it.
I can? Okay. I think I'd like to be here right behind Rayland, but not within melee range of this guy.
You can double move on the horse, but it does require you to make a check. Yeah, it'd be galloping the horse through a narrow canyon and all this, trying to avoid people and objects, etc. If you do want to, go ahead and make an animal handling check.
19.
Deftly maneuvering the horse between people, between horses, between brushes, able to avoid a lot of the pitfalls and other areas. When you do make it up next to Rayland, back in kind of a semblance of a formation.
Yes, that is my turn then.
6 temporary hit points, Becca.
Oh, thank you.
On his turn, Renard sees you guys all kind of getting past him. He's going to take a couple of steps back just to kind of step away from Rayland. Rayland, you can make an attack if you would like to.
17.
That does hit.
8 damage, I believe.
8 points, still solid. Kind of conk him on the top of the head, and as you do so, he does look slightly dazed. But he will draw his bow one last time, and he's going to try to plug one into the horse with Jack and Winry on it. The two people he's seen, aggressively casting and trying to get away. So he breaks the attack. That definitely hits. It's a 19 to hit the horse.
Boy.
And the horse, 9 points additional damage. It is, with the 2 shafts sticking out of it, it looks very rough at this point in time.
Does it freak out again?
It's going to on your turn. Yep. That is all that he can do, though, is he's just kind of cursing at you guys as you start riding away. The enemies, the other guy up here at the top, he's going to stay kind of at the side. He's going to pull a crossbow out, seeing Renard shooting at the horse right in front of him. He follows his leader's lead, and he takes a shot towards the horse. You started this.
Yeah, I sure did.
18 to hit. That definitely hits the horse.
Oh, man.
My horsey.
I rolled a 2. It had 2 hit points. The horse beneath you starts to jump and to run. And then it gets plugged by a second crossbow. It falls to the ground. I need you both to make an acrobatics check. Actually, a dexterity saving throw. Sorry.
17 for me.
18.
All right. Both of you are able to get out from underneath the horse as it falls. You both land on your feet.
Like a cat.
The horse, unfortunately, is dying from 3 projectile wounds. The last thing that happens, coming around the corner, is a familiar-looking man. As he comes up to the corner, he looks towards you, sighs a little bit. You can see it almost looks like regret in his eyes as he looks towards you. but he does draw the greatsword off his back. That is the end of their turns. Oop, I forgot about Torrent. Sorry. She continues onwards. She moves 30 feet up the canyon. It's about as much as she can do while she's leading 2 horses and riding another one. Winry, it's yours.
What was it for Bryn to call the horses? Was that an action?
If you were going to actively try to call them, I'd probably make it a bonus action.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, make an animal handling check. The most use animal handling has ever gotten. 5.
Yeah, for real.
That's a 3.
You call out towards the horses. Do you tell? Yeah, I guess Torrent releases the reins on one of them as you kind of are calling towards it, asking for it to come along. It doesn't really do much of anything right now, but we'll see what happens.
Does Reinhard look hurt?
He's definitely starting to look hurt. Keeled over, dying or anything, but he's definitely taken some strikes. He's looking dented in, this sort of thing.
I will punch and kick him.
For it. Only one, though.
Alright, bonus action. Oh! 13.
He continues to evade you as you continue to strike him. Anything else, Winry? Alright, I hear your daughter at the top of the stairs.
Not your daughter, though.
Nope, not mine anymore. Bryn, that makes it your turn.
We'll move the sword up, and I'll start with that.
All right, go for it.
22.
Definitely hits.
Yes, 11.
Very nice. Solid strike. He definitely reels from it. You know, he kind of spits out a little bit of blood afterwards as it kind of thumps him in the face.
It's 20 for me to get on the horse. And then I move the horse forward 10.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
It's going to be dangerous. I want to dash the horse at Renard. At.
Like trying to trample him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ow.
Make an animal handling check.
Natural 20.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
Go ahead and make a attack roll for me. It is +6.
20.
Natural 20?
No, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right, you come flying forward. The horse's hooves raise up as it gets towards him. You kind of spin it around in a circle, and it back kicks right into Renard's face. Go ahead and roll 2d6, please.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Brutal.
9.
+3 is 13 points of bludgeoning damage as it bashes him in the face. He then has to make a strength saving throw. Look at you thinking outside the box, getting rewarded. That is a 12, which I think is a failure against a horse. That is true. He gets kicked right in the face, and as he does so, he gets knocked off his feet, lands on the ground prone next to it. The horse makes a follow-up attack as he was knocked prone. Go ahead and make another attack roll.
This is insane.
You do have advantage.
All right, good, because I rolled a 2. Natural 19.
Just stomps
Oh my
right
gosh.
on his face with the 2 feet that just kicked him in the face, just like reared up, kicked in the face. He falls over and then stomps right on him afterwards. Same roll, 2d6.
11.
Very nice. The 2 hooves land down, just smash him into the dirt. You leave behind a broken man on the ground, bleeding out and dying.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That is my turn.
Winry is covered in this dude's gore, by the way. She's got Shaun of the Dead.
At the end of your turn, from ahead and down the canyon, you see the man who you'd seen previously and know his name now to be Cathor. He sees what's going on, and he turns to the man next to him and says, "Stop. Let them go. We have no fight with them. With Renard dead, leadership passes to me. We let them go."
Oh.
Can I call out at my free action of why? You attacked us before.
This has not been my choice. I've followed orders to this point. Now I make my own.
We appreciate your kindness, although you were the one who led the attack against us at the Poison Apple Pub. I maybe trust is a little shaky on our side.
Understandable. I hold no ill will against you. What happened there was business, but a mistake. Now, I right the wrongs that I was given.
Well, we can only make good decisions in the moment. I'm glad that you have chosen mercy.
Are you not hunting wizards, mages?
That was the orders. As I said, now I make the decisions. My decision is to leave this disreputable path.
What changed your mind?
He kind of looks around him at the men. The work Renard began here is not befitting of true mercenaries. This work is a butcher's bill. I want no part of this.
The Regessian would have betrayed you in the end. Actually, is our horse still alive or is it dead?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's technically making death saves.
Jack, can you fix him?
As I see that Winry's trying to work on him, I'm going to go over to remove the bolts, and I'll go ahead and cast Healing Word on him.
Cathor does speak out to you and says, "We do have spare mounts if you need."
I won't. Well,
But he died for us.
well, this is more a matter of I don't really want to be known as the horse killer. So,
Well, you didn't kill this horse.
oh yeah, I guess I haven't killed any horses yet. But still, life is precious. And I'll cast Healing Word on him. He gets back, max 7 HP.
Your horse awakens and then kind of is struggling to get back to its feet.
I'll help try to push it up.
Cathor looks to the ones next to him, says, "Ride double. We go back to camp. We'll move on."
Before he goes, Rayland will say, perhaps next time, choose your employer a little better.
Despite the hardness in his face, he does look relatively young, and the words seem to strike a nerve a little bit. I intend to, as he will lead the small band of mounted men riding double on the saddles. Will ride past you guys, and will attempt to kind of go up this pathway to the south beyond you. He does shout, "If you need a rest, we have a camp. We'll be taking what we need and leaving immediately. It's yours if you'd like it."
Oh, thanks.
That sounds wonderful. We won't forget your kindness.
All right. They continue on then at this point, and we'll ride down that path, like I said, and we'll start to disappear into the distance.
Do I believe that Cathor is legit?
Sure, make an insight check.
Okay. We were just all going to feel like idiots if we got there and it was a trap and Justin's like, you guys did not figure out if he was lying or not. Hey, that's pretty good. 15.
The biggest thing that tips you into thinking that he might be being truthful, at least, is the way that he reacted to Rayland's words.
Like he actually had some regret.
He definitely seemed to have some sort of feelings towards Rayland's words, at least.
I get down off my horse, and I quickly look Jack up and down, and when I see that he's fine, I immediately slap him across the face as hard as I can and say, "What the bloody hell did you think was going to happen when you walked into a trap by yourself? I thought you were smarter than that." And she looks seething, by the way. You've never seen her this angry.
I was wondering how much damage a slap would do, but I'm actually doing okay health-wise. I thought maybe that might take me out. It was like a world star moment. So I'm probably reeling from that because I've just had the kicked out of me, and also now I'm having to answer for something. So he's a little lost for words.
She's just gonna stand there.
She slaps me. I kind of fall to the side a little bit. Not fall, but recoil off to the side. And I'm bent over a little bit. And I take a moment, wipe whatever viscera is on my face from the stabbing and such, not from the slap. And I'll right myself and stand up straight. And I'm going to look Myetharia in the eye and say, I reacted with what was available to me and hope that it would be the right thing. And I stand by my actions.
What was available to you was all of us, who you left behind, to go off on a fool's errand, believing that you had at hand. Why couldn't you wait?
I didn't want anyone else to be in harm's way. Not when they didn't have to be.
You've all signed up for it. Not just you. Not just me. Not just Rayland. Not any single one of us. We're all in this together. And you have to include us in this.
I do think it's interesting, Jack, that you have been anxious on this journey about, like, you know, fighting and killing people and getting hurt, and then you just go off on your own without, you know, talking about your plan or anything. It seems kind of dangerous to do.
Well, once I agree with her.
As this is going on, Bryn is wide-eyed over by, like, the injured horse, just, like, fixing the saddle and, like, wrapping, like, spots. And just is, like, generally calming them down while just, like, wide.
It's uncomfortable.
Rayland's actually off kind of scouting. He's scouting ahead. He's not.
As soon as the confrontation began, he's like, "I'm out of here."
I go, well, Rayland was up on a wall, right, Rayland? Rayland? Oh.
For your point there, Rayland, the canyon just continues onwards. It appears to be largely blank as you continue on.
Well, are we ready to press on?
Yes, Rayland, that sounds wise.
I do wonder what the rest of their plan was, though. How are they going to get the horses to run?
I'll look around for maybe some sort of... Is there any landslides, loose rocks, or incendiary devices, maybe? That's another thing that could have...
Are you wanting to search the bodies? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, let's do that. I'll ride over.
Those first two that you saw initially, kind of ride over, dismount, give them a quick search over. Beyond the short sword and crossbows, light crossbows that they had across their back, you do find in their pouches also, one each, a small stone. Jagged yellow cracks through the stone, and you recognize this to be what's called a thunderstone. When you throw this rock, it just creates this deafening bang, so that anything in the area has a chance to be deafened and also, you know, spooked.
I'll be taking one. I'll take the other, and I'll hop back up and casually toss it to Winry.
Winry, make a dexterity check.
Oh, goodness.
Let chaos reign.
This is gonna hurt me.
Everyone get ready to grab some horses.
17.
Nice.
Are startled as it comes flying or tossing towards you, but you react very well and catch it easily.
Oh, that could have gone so poorly.
I'm going to give her a wry grin and then keep my trot towards the canyon over here.
Hit. Nice one.
Rob, was Jack going to say anything else on the discussion?
My intention was to keep everyone safe, but I can see how I may have been a bit forward, and I crumple over a little bit from like a gaping wound in my side. I'm like, I think I've learned my lesson.
I'll kind of go down with him, kind of grab him and pull him into a hug. Say close to his ear, I'm supposed to be keeping you alive. Don't make my job harder than it's supposed to be. And then let him go.
I'll give a nod, and then I'll limp over to a horse. No, that's it. I hop up onto a horse.
What time of day is it while I was thinking of that?
About noon, give or take. Well, with everyone then mounted on a horse, Torrent will turn to the rest of the group and say, what's the plan? Which way? Rest first, or make it to the forest and then rest?
How far is the forest, Torrent?
Probably most of the day.
We could just do a short rest. I don't think we necessarily need to go to the camp to do that.
True. You could rest here if we'd like. You could probably rest to some extent on the horseback, even. Just when making sure which way we wanted to go.
There's no need to go to the camp. I think we should just keep heading forward.
There's nothing there for us.
I think it's in our best interest to keep moving.
Understood.
I'm gonna say that Winry, that poor horse needs at least a break. I'll I'll ride with Myetharia.
I'll offer my hand to him.
I'll hold its reins.
Okay. The rest of the trip through the canyon is pretty straightforward. Quiet ride for the first while. A little somber attitude. You guys can feel free to take a short rest.
All right.
And as you continue on, and after lunch, even getting close to dinner time, roughly a day of travel has passed, largely uneventful. And as you crest a small hill, you begin to notice a faint red and orange glow to the sky ahead. The air begins to smell faintly of ash. And as you continue down the slope, the frigid winter temperatures that you've been riding through before warm noticeably. In fact, you begin to notice red flowers dotting the roadside among the yellowed grass. What you initially took as snow, you now realize are cinders and ash that are floating in the sky. The cliffs along the road slowly turn towards craggy hills as the forest fire itself comes into view. A tall set of pine trees stretching down into a valley before you that burns, ablaze all the way to the horizon. While your view is lost within the smoke and haze of the nearby area, you know that the blaze must cover miles upon miles of forest. The flames are bordered on the near side by a river that seems to mark its beginning, and a field of ash coats the last quarter mile of ground leading up to the river's edge. Every spellcaster can make an Arcana check.
Include me, Justin.
Yes, I'll allow it.
So everybody except for Rayland?
As it turns out, in this case, yeah, Rayland is the only one who has no actual magical ability.
Ooh, 14.
19.
7 for me.
Jack, as you start riding towards this area and you get within a reasonable distance of it, you know, even though it's not really in your wheelhouse, there's some sort of fire enhancement going on. You can feel, even though you don't even cast fire spells, I don't think at all, but you can feel almost like this tingling in your hands as though you want to have flames, fire, and you know they would roar if you cast anything here. As you continue on and make your way down the hillside, you spot a small farm alongside the road. Instead of being up in the canyon anymore, there is no canyon really anymore, as it's leveled out into smaller hills as opposed to this ridged canyon. And this is the first and really only farmhouse that you can see in this area at all. The farm consists of a 2-story stone house, an adjacent barn, with what looks like a pair of simple stone cairns. The farm is on a slight rise on the left side of the road, and a young woman stands in clear view, dark-haired, eyes wide and blue, holding a slender black staff.
What is she wearing?
She's wearing almost what looks like a farmer's outfit, I guess. It's like plaid, kind of undershirt, and then some overalls, basically. Something similar to that.
You said a staff?
A slender black staff. And then she also has a cloak over top of it that has a clasp in the center. And you can tell even from here that she has large blue eyes.
Can I tell if she's an elf or not?
Make a perception check.
And does her staff seem magical in nature?
You can't tell from this distance.
Okay.
12.
You don't see any telltale signs of elvishness. She has her hair loose. You'd think that you'd probably see ears peeking out if she had pointed ears.
All right.
She's kind of facing your general direction, but not really looking specifically at you. And as you can tell, her eyes, even from this distance, like I said, they're wide and blue, and they seem almost unfocused. She's not really looking at you at all, just kind of staring vacantly off into the horizon, the distance.
And what time of day is it now?
It is almost sunset. Just starting to get orange, not just from the fire, but also from the sun.
I think let's approach.
You ride up relatively near, as she's standing somewhat near the road and as you just get kind of close enough to speak, you can clearly make out, like I said, she's looking off vacantly into the distance instead of at you. But as you get close, she does speak.
Can I look whatever direction she's looking?
Just kind of the hills.
There's nothing over there?
There's nothing of interest in any one direction. As you get close enough, though, she does speak, and it comes out almost flat, as though it's missing some sort of intonation slightly. It says, "The scourge comes, and the skulls of the dragon pursue you. I saw it in a dream." And then she shakes her head as if coming to her senses immediately afterwards. Said, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I said. I was daydreaming again. The forest does it to you, I guess. but and she comes under a little bit more calm. I think your arrival means that the end is near.
The end? Of what?
I meant our time on the farm. Sorry, I didn't mean that to be quite so ominous.
It sounded quite ominous.
I'm sorry. My name's Kristen. And I hate to admit it, but I could use your help. I know that the Regessians are coming. Even here, we've heard tell of the Scourge, and, well, me and my father are magic users. His name is Hadin. I want to come with you. Wherever it is you're going. I believe that you can protect us. At the least, let me offer you a place to rest before you go.
Does she seem like she's speaking the truth, or...
I am skeptical, too, of this farm wench here.
You can make an insight check if you'd like, and also everyone can make a history check. Myetharia, you can actually do so with advantage.
It's 17 on insight.
I rolled a 17 history.
13.
Both of you, Rayland and Myetharia, you both kind of feel like she's a little bit of an open book. While very unnerving initially, as soon as she kind of changed her voice and became more of a person and made eye contact and started talking with you, she seems very genuine.
9 on history.
With advantage, even?
Yeah, I rolled a 9 and an 8.
Okay.
Well, I got a 4.
17.
Yeah, mine's the same as Winry.
A 7, and then a 14, you said?
17.
17? Okay. Jack, you haven't really been in the city that long, but even you are able to know the name, or at least a name of Hadin. You've heard plenty of talk about Hadin in the past with Gate Pass. He was a artist, well-respected citizen of Gate Pass back in the day. And he had a brother, a half-orc, named Mandragore, who was a criminal. Well known after the fact, at least, that he was a criminal. Suddenly, one day, Mandragore decided he was going to go straight. He was going to be a really good person, basically, completely redeem himself and everything that he'd done. But rumors started arising that Hadin had done something. It wasn't quite clear exactly what, but that some magic had been done. And an investigation revealed officially that Hadin was dominating his brother in order to force him to change his ways. Within weeks, and amongst many protests of countless people who, none of it was confirmed, but whether right or wrong, that Hadin had definitely dominated them as well, his reputation was ruined. And while his brother tried to defend him, his brother was killed in a riot. Hadin left, taking his wife and his newborn daughter with him out of the city. Some years later, a young woman who appeared very similar to Hadin's wife began visiting Gate Pass, getting supplies, her expression distant. Stories say that it was his daughter. This all happened 20 years ago, and then just kind of recently, within the last 5 or so years, this other woman started appearing that people felt like they recognized.
Okay.
Do I recognize the staff that she's carrying as just like a regular farm tool for herding and things like that?
No, it appears to be more like a quarterstaff. Don't think Gandalf's staff, which is quite thick, so to speak. This is much more cane thickness, basically.
After she introduces herself, I'll say, "Do we look at all familiar to you?"
Not specifically, I guess. What do you mean?
Well, you just seemed to go into a bit of a daze that year, and you said you'd seen us in a dream.
I think it was you, at least. I didn't see faces, but I've had visions, and she looks really kind of embarrassed as she says it. They're coming for us, me and my father, and well, I saw people who looked like you guys come, and you helped us. I just know that we're supposed to come with you. That's all I know.
With us?
I don't care where you're going.
We're going through the forest, though, dear. I don't think that you and your father would quite make it.
I don't have answers. I'm sorry. That's what I know. We have to come.
Well, it's evening now, so let's at least stay here for the night, get our rest, and then we'll tackle the forest tomorrow and whether or not they can come with us.
Yeah, where are my manners? I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is quite late. You can at least come inside, rest, please, before doing anything. We can talk.
As long as everyone is quite all right with that, I see no problem with it.
Bryn jumps down and starts walking towards, recognizing good old hospitality.
Here, we have a stable out back. You can stable the horses there. We can get feed.
Appreciate that.
I assume we all head to the stables. Does she come immediately to the stables?
She's coming with you guys. And if you start to dismount, she will start to kind of tie up the horses in reasonable places, giving them some leads that they could lay down if they need to, and start filling up some food for them.
Bryn will help her.
I'm going to nudge Bryn and say, can you take over with this, feeding the horses and such?
Yeah, sure.
Lady Kristen, brief introductions. My name is Jack. Very warm greetings to you. Thank you for your hospitality. I think you can see that some of us are quite injured. Would you mind going ahead to the house and maybe warming up some water so we can clean our wounds?
Of course. Yes. Here, you can feed them, I guess. I'll be right back. And she bustles off towards the house and steps inside. You notice that there was a man standing kind of in the door frame as she went through it. A very portly man, quite overweight, and glaring out the door as she comes in, and then the door shuts behind her.
Once she walks away, I'll say, okay, everyone, I know of this Hadin. He is a very powerful magic user, specifically with the ability to dominate people.
Oh.
He is well known in Gate Pass, almost notoriously so. I think we need to be on our guard. I don't know how many people he could potentially still dominate. This was decades ago, but I believe the risk could still be legitimate.
Maybe he could teach us some magic, says Winry.
Maybe he could. Maybe he could practice on us, though, and that would be bad.
So does Jack tell us the whole story?
All right, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do a very quick version.
So, but what if he was just dominating his brother to help his brother and all those other people were...
I'm not assuming any intent or really placing any judgment upon the man whatsoever. I wasn't there. I don't know the context other than what I hear. I've told his story before in taverns, so I'm aware of the legend more or less. The fact doesn't change that he could still have that ability and could still potentially use it if he deems necessary.
You should be very careful.
Do we have a safe word?
I was thinking that too.
All right.
What about, we all remember what Funsbar said is his safe word. The school stands ready. If we think one of us is acting peculiar, then we can ask, what did Funsbar say? Work it into conversation, obviously, but
I guess I don't know how a person works. Couldn't you just encourage the person to answer, and then we would know if it's okay?
Justin, I have suggestions, so I've studied this kind of magic before. Do I have some kind of understanding of that?
This level of magic is beyond you.
Okay. I think that we need to rest here before we go on, and of course I want to help people that need it, but maybe we just try this safe word and hope that our good intentions take us to safer shores.
So we say, what is it that Funsbar always said?
What did Funsbar say?
What did Funsbar say? And then the others answer.
Yeah, because remember when we met the real Funsbar, that's what you used as a safe word, right?
That was not a safe word, but yeah.
That was the phrase. The school stands ready.
As risky as it is, I think that we should take this chance. I don't know. I believe in some way that she has had some vision that we save her, and it wouldn't make sense that we save her and her father if they are, I don't know, dominating us in some way. I mean, of course, they could be dominating us to save them, but...
Or we save her from her father.
Ooh. Yeah,
This could be true.
did she seem like she was under any kind of spell when she was in here before, Justin?
You didn't notice at the time. You weren't thinking about it, but you
Okay.
could try to check for it when you came in contact with her.
Say we take this very carefully.
The other option is we could just go for the forest now, but I need at least a few minutes.
We should rest.
The door starts to open to the house once more at this point in time, as you see Kristen starting to come back with a large bucket of kind of steaming water and some cloths. You have a moment before she gets here to finish your conversation.
Any objections?
I think we see how this plays out.
Agreed.
It'd be fun.
Sorry that took so long. Here. We heated some water and some cloths, and you can use it to clean up. I'm gonna go start dinner.
Oh, thank you, dear. I really appreciate that.
Come inside whenever you want. Whenever the horses are ready, we have room. You can sit at the table. We'll get you guys set up for some sleep tonight as well.
Honey, is your dad okay with us staying?
He'll be fine. Yeah, don't worry about him. Just enjoy the food. The rest.
Does he feel like you guys need saved?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Now that she's here and talking, does she look like she's underneath some kind of spell?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, 13.
Not that you can notice, at least.
Okay.
But, like I said, come inside when you're ready. I'm gonna start the food.
Thank you, dear. We really appreciate your generosity.
She starts heading back in and will disappear inside, and you can come follow, stay outside, whichever you'd so to choose.
I would actually like to go up to Bryn and say, can you help me with this? I'm going to take the warm water, and I'd like to start treating the wounds of the horse that got hurt real bad.
Yep. I will direct him and show him what to do and where the horse may need bandages, and yeah.
Yeah, you're able to kind of spend some time, clean it, and make it feel better. It will also rest when you do.
Clear my conscience a little, maybe.
All right, are you guys going to head inside or not?
Yep, heading inside.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I guess so.
Bryn puts on her most cheerful face, anticipating talking to a grumpy old villager and going in, planning on being helpful and helping Kristen with whatever she needs.
As we're walking in, I'll say, as a final note, I think that we should do our best to spread out once we get in there. If he can cast a spell on 2 or 3 of us, if we're clumped together, he might be able to get us all, but if we're spread out, it might just be 1 or 2.
You and I can't get charmed all that easily, can we?
That's true, and I hopefully will be able to spot a spell when it's being cast, so I can maybe give us a heads up.
I'll leave that up to you then.
Farmhouse, while, relatively large, is not absurdly huge either.
Sure.
You head back up the hill slightly then, around this small little stone wall, basically, that's been set up as entrances, more open in the front and then a little opening in the back where the stable was more towards. And as you make it back up into the farmhouse, you head in the back door. Aside from a few old cloth decorations, all the furniture within is made of stone. It looks very blocky, utilitarian. It also looks kind of magically shaped. There's also a small hearth that crackles with 2 bright fire, and besides it, an old man, large, sits on a stone bench, perusing a book and coughing incessantly. A finely crafted warhammer hangs on the wall, surrounded by countless beautiful paintings. As you walk in, Kristen from the kitchen will say, "Oh, make yourselves at home. Don't worry. Pick a seat. It'll be okay." And she continues to make some stew on the fire. In the meantime, the man looks up briefly from his seat, glaring over the edge of the book, appraising each of you openly while hacking. And then goes back to his book after kind of grunting at you.
I'm gonna go over to the fire and kind of lay down and cozy up to it.
Oh dear.
Lovely cozy house you have here.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. And you can see Hadin makes a noise from behind the book. Grumbles a little bit.
Directed towards Hadin, I'll say, thank you for your generosity, and please let us know if we can help in any way, and I'll go off to the kitchen to help Kristen.
Helping already by leaving. As you walk off to help.
So, because he sort of looked at Winry when she went by the fire, did I sense a difference in how he reacted to me versus her?
You versus Winry? Not really. He looked with the same sour glare at each of you.
Okay.
I would like to approach him. Justin, you said the stone looked like it had been magically worked.
Yeah, like by shaped stone. Basically, it's very kind of blocky and utilitarian, but functional.
So I would recognize that likely a spell was being used.
It does look magically shaped, yes.
Okay. So I'll approach him and say, thank you for your generosity, sir. My name is Jack. You know, I normally would say something like,
take your prying nose elsewhere. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Too happy. Don't like you.
I'll chuckle a bit and walk a little bit closer. And you said, Justin, that he had a warhammer above the fire?
It is a finely crafted warhammer that hangs on the wall, yes. And it is surrounded. Like, most of the walls are filled up with these very countless beautiful paintings, despite the rest of the room being very Spartan and utilitarian.
Well, pardon my curiosity, but I was simply wondering if you had been a part of the war. And I'll kind of indicate towards the warhammer.
Not mine.
Not yours, but you didn't actually answer my question.
Too old.
Ah.
He probably looks like he's about 50 or so. And so by the war, he, as a human, would probably be 10 to 12.
Got it.
Even though he only is probably about 50, the 50 years have taken a real toll on his body. He looks dramatically out of shape. He's hacking constantly between discussions. He'll speak a few words like he does, and then he'll fall back into coughs. Something has taken a toll on his body.
But now I'll say, I apologize. It's good that you were not a part of it. It's a terrible war.
Maybe.
Lives lost means it was a terrible war.
Not every life gone is a loss.
I heartily agree with you on that. Many lives should be lost for this world to be happy, sad as it may be.
Do I see wizards' ingredients and stuff anywhere?
Components.
Components, that's the word.
Components.
Make a perception check, or maybe investigation if you'd rather.
Okay, investigation sounds good. 22.
You look around, and you really can't find a lot of stuff for components. At least not like a pouch. He doesn't carry a pouch on him.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, what you can notice is he does have with him a small book that he's looking at, but you doubt that it's a spell book, just by the way that he's looking at it.
I've read a lot of books. Any chance I'd recognize the book?
I'm going to say no. I don't think that you would recognize the book at all, but you do realize it's definitely not a spell book. You can see that kind of just by looking over his shoulder slightly. It is not a book with words in it at all, actually. It is a book with sketches.
As I'm coming out, like setting the table, in and out, stuff like that, hearing him coughing, can I tell what that might be from? Like, is it from the, like, being so close to the forest, or?
Make a medicine check.
9.
Probably has to do with long-term inhalation of smoke. Being this close to a fire within like a quarter mile to a massive forest fire for your entire life. Just as a guess.
I'm going to say to him, I see that some magical stonework has been done here. I recognize the craftsmanship. Was that Kristen, your daughter?
Mine. Was.
Really? You seem quite skilled.
Don't look so happy.
I'll like lower my tone, be like, sorry.
I was once.
What happened? Not like I care, but just
Life.
That'll do it.
After a short period of time, Kristen comes back with Bryn. They've been filling up the table, setting it, getting the food ready, this sort of thing. She begins to dish out soup for everyone. After a moment, you all can sit back, sit around the table, around the room, various places, enjoy some some wine, some stew, spend the rest of the evening together.
Does the stew taste good?
Yeah, the stew tastes of human meat. No, the stew tastes very good. From Kristen, it's cooked well. She is a serviceable cook, does a good job, puts a lot of effort into it.
Good stew.
Hey, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. It's hard to get many people around here. You know, there's just not a lot going on. And well, I'd like to meet. And as she's kind of in the middle of talking, she gets a glare from her father. And as soon as he kind of glares over the side of his eye towards her, she immediately stops talking and just like wilts inwards.
How old does she look, Justin? Because from her picture, she looks quite young.
She looks about 20, give or take. Anyone that is a spellcaster, not Myetharia this time, sorry. The true spellcasters, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh yeah, 18.
19.
Mine's a -1. I rolled a 19.
Winry, you were not paying attention at all, just kind of sleeping down by the fire.
She found a ball of yarn or something.
Both Bryn and Jack, while not knowing anything about the specifics, you can see the effects of some sort of enchantment. Details unknown. The way that he looked and she immediately stopped without even really making eye contact leads you to think that something's going on.
Torrent, what was it that Funsbar said? There was a phrase that you guys used when we first met. What was that?
Yeah, the school stands ready.
Yeah, that was it.
Why do you ask?
Just, sometimes phrases like that pop into your head at certain moments, and this just happened to be one of them.
Understood. Okay.
Well, thank you both very much for dinner and your kindness. Maybe we will sleep under the stars tonight. It seems nice out, and to be lit by such a
please, you don't have to. You can sleep inside. Really, there's beds. You don't have to sleep out there.
Okay. Does she seem desperate, or does she seem like she's being a good host?
It's hard to tell the difference.
Does she seem panicked?
I don't know if panic's the right word, but she seems quite upset. I mean, you definitely can stay. And then Hadin kind of looks towards her again, and she said, that's fine.
It's quite all right, dear. We'll talk tomorrow about what you asked.
Sure.
Well, it's late. All of you have a good night. Guys, let's set up camp.
Has Jackie unfinished his soup?
You can take the soup with you if you'd like. Okay. You guys step back outside then, can do what you would like, but I think this is a good spot for us to call it for tonight.